go so. Herdsmen, they kill us every day for them busy, they campaign again. After they failed all the promises they made, oh, then they praise themselves. Why the masses were supposed to give them the praises we they here they run to? Who be that? I blame it on the religious leaders. I blame it on the traditional rulers. People were supposed to fight for the people, they don't compromise. Shame on the rebellious brothers. People will cry with us during answers. Today them don't join those oppressors, they eat jealous. Something on the smell of. Very soon now we go perceive them. We have up where this government they cause my time bomb. It go soon explode. Revolution they come. It is very close at the film. When the power of the people we triumph, the power of the people in power. They no even care, they no even send. Say the people they die of hunger. Hungry dog is an angry dog. One day you go bite the owner. Idle man is the devil workshop. Many youths for Nigeria no good job. And the country the youths got no future. The country is gone, that's on period. Move it up. I blame it on the judiciary leaders. I blame it on the electoral officials. People were supposed to save the nation, but they collected bribe. Shame on the armed forces. People were supposed to protect the masses. One of them they shoot us anytime they hear our voice.
All of us. In 1776, the United States separated from the United Kingdom by declaration. Today, they are the world power. In 1830, Belgium separated from Netherlands. Today, they are one of the most powerful countries in Europe. Both of the countries. In 1965, Singapore separated from Malaysia. Today, they have transformed into global financial hub as a result of the separation. Why is it that when we call for separation, Nigeria and their criminals will be calling us terrorists? Don't fall for it. The past separation has led to the upsurge of economic development in the case of India and Pakistan, Norway, Denmark, Switzerland. Each of these separation has led to the upsurge of economic development. In 2002, East Timor separated from Indonesia. In 1921, Ireland separated from the United Kingdom. Today, they are one of the powerful countries we have. In 1944, Iceland separated from Denmark, demonstrating that nations can part away without violence. Why do you kill Biafrans? Whenever we say we are fed up of Nigeria. In Nigeria, where you have dangerous diversity, in Nigeria, where you have the northern part of Nigeria practicing Islamic State, practicing Islamic Sharia law, and they have different culture, different laws, different rules, different everything. And with that kind of mentality and setup, we can never develop as a nation. That is the reason we call for the separate state, and of course for independent state for Biafra. Apart from the killings, genocide against our people, and jihad. In 1905, Norway and Sweden separated and goes their separate ways. Today, they are one of the most powerful countries in Europe because of the separation. In 1947, India and Pakistan separated. The list can go on and on and on.
Oh yes, I got ụfọdụ nọ n'ụzọ ije ha anaghị alọta ụlọ ọzọ nne na nna wee na-ata ahụhụ wee na-ata ikikere eze nwaanyị konye ka ọ gaa ubi gaa rụọ ọrụ Fulani chiri ehi bata ebe ala gị n'iyi okwu ebepụ ya isi anyị bụ ka anyị kpọpụ onye nwaanyị n'ugwu Awụsa ahụ ejide anyị wee gbuo ihe ọ bụ anyị mara aka n'ime ha si maka ha aga n'ihu elekwa ọdụ ụgbọ mmiri n'igwe ọcha bụ ememiri ọya nke dị na Kalaba otu aka ahụ anyị na-ala nsọ ebe Biafra ndị kọstọm sokwenye anyị n'etiti anyị anọghị n'ime mmiri kama kọstọm jiri ebe niile ha wee na-ata anyị ahụhụ anyị kwuo ekosipụta anyị ka kpọchie anyị kwekwasị kpọtani ka gbagbuo anyị onye nwe anyị na Chineke na nke bi n'igwe ọ bụ ụzọ dị aga ka isi wepụ ndị iro anyị anya wee karịa ndị nke gị akwa anyị bụ ụmụ Chineke akwa ọba aha anyị ka anyị na-aza akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza ike Chukwu akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza amara Chineke akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chisom akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chizọba nna nke dị nsọ onye ime eluigwe dịka otu onye iro dị na anyị bụ ụmụ gị bịa ka iwe zọpụta anyị bịa ka iwe napụta anyị n'aka ọjọọ ihe bịa ka iwe lụọrọ anyị ọgụ bịa ka iwe dịtụ ozu ọ bụ ọkọwa mgbe emilere Goliath Chineke nna nke igwe ruo ememile Fero sikwa otu a mee ka Fero bụ ọgụzọ n'ihu ụmụ ndị anyị bi obi ka o wee taa akọkọ igiri ụtọ ọzọ ị ga na-edu anyị n'ụzọ niile nke ezi omume ọ bụla adịghị na anyị na-aga ndagwurugwu onyinye ọnwụ ọ bụ nwa bụ ekerere eluigwe n'ụwa onye ọbụla kere gị n'oge malite n'oge ọgwụgwụ kama anyị nwe anyị gwa amakwa ahụ ofu ụbọchị anyị ga-anwụ n'ezie kama ma akọ na ogbu gị na nọgide ego mgbe ebighị ebi ọ bụ ya mere anyị ji were gị n'anya isi anyị wee na-asị nna nke dị nsọ bịa ka iwe gosi anyị Biafra na ndụ na-abụghị n'ọnwụ bịa ka iwe mee ka ebe gị na amara gị wee kpuchiri anyị ka uwe bịa ka iwe zọpụta ndị nke gị bịa ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee bịa ka anyị na-ewetụta na nsọpụrụ na ịja mma site n'aha gị onye Chukwu nke abịa.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us on this very quick evening program. I welcome you to the evening section of our program. You are highly welcome. Thank you so much for joining. It's going to be a quick one. As always, you know, our evening program, we don't take much time. It's only in the morning we spend hours in our broadcast in the morning. We'll spend more than 4 hours in the morning, and in the evening program, we spend 1 hour and then we are done for the day. So I welcome everyone that has connected, wherever you are connecting from. Please like and share the program to our platform, share to family and friends, share to those that are close to you. Make sure you invite somebody to join us. As you join, don't watch alone. Invite somebody. Invite somebody to join us. And remember that in this very platform where you are watching this program, we do not come here in this platform to instigate violence. We don't come to this platform to preach hate. We do not come to this platform to attack people or to attack individuals. We don't come here for propaganda or any form of blackmail. In this platform, we say things the way they are. It doesn't matter whether you agree with us or not. You are entitled to your opinion in the same way we are entitled to our opinion. So whatever you have in mind or whatever you think, keep it to yourself. If you want to join us on the program, the link is there for you to join and bring up your superior argument. Just like the message I saw there at the comment section. Alfred, you can come up, Alfred, and make your argument, and let's hear you and what you are trying to say. I don't know what you're trying to say, and I don't know how long you have been following the Sit at Home. That makes you to begin to say you are not hearing the voice of the people, and the people you are referring to that you're not hearing their voice. I can't understand that. So you can come up and elaborate more for us, Alfred. I see your comments there. You can come up and make your argument clear, and let's be able to sort it out. We are here to share views. You are entitled to your opinion. We are entitled to you said sit at home gets ridiculed when the people are not talking to prove its individual decision. From individual decision forms of protests, not IPOP, USB government, nor kanu, nnamdi Kanu, or EPA are not responsible. So if you want to clear us more, you can come up and tell us what you are saying, because in so many of our platform, if you have been following this platform, I don't know the people you want to hear from. People have come here at many points in time to testify about the Sit at Home. We have seen videos of interviews in Biafra land where people made their voice heard and said their mind, and this is what they want, and nobody is forcing them. We have seen even when sanction was placed on people on their markets, threat was given to people to open their market, and they insisted they continue to lock their markets against the order of the government. Many times, interview has been granted in the street, and people said this is what they want. So I don't know where you are getting your argument from. Wherever you're getting your argument from, you are entitled to your opinion, but it will be much better if you can use the link, come in and put your word direct so that we can hear. So, my fellow Biafrans, I welcome every one of you that have joined us wherever you are joining from. I appreciate you and I thank you for being part of the program. Don't give up. Do not relent. Do not be discouraged. Continue to do your part any way you can be able to do it. Continue to speak up. Continue to do your own part. It doesn't matter what the enemies are saying. It doesn't matter what they do. The challenges are not easy. What we are facing today is not a walk in the park. We have to take responsibilities. Take responsibility for things that are happening. We need to fight more than we have ever done before. So please, wherever you are, as you join us on the program, like the program, share to other platforms so that they can be able to join us in this very quick evening program, as we always do. So remember, today is a sit at home. It's a sit at home, and our people have continued to keep this very civil disobedience. Sit at home, as we all know, is a very civil, democratic way of expressing people's opinion. More especially when you are dealing with a tyrant, when you are dealing with a government that doesn't listen. In the case of Nigeria, where protest has become a death sentence. If you come out to protest, you lose your life. Any attempt to speak up, you lose your life. So the Biafran people have chosen silence. They sit at home as a means of expressing their views and their desire. So don't allow anybody to talk you out of it. They have fought this sit at home for many years, but this is almost 5 years going. We are still sitting at home. If you look at Biafra land today, you are going to still see that people are paying attention and they are doing what they have to do. Regardless the propaganda, regardless the blackmail, regardless the lies that we hear and see every day. And that is why we have the courage to continue to come to ask Biafrans to stand strong. Regardless whatever we see, we will continue to present Biafra as the only remedy to the failed state Nigeria. If there is any time we need to sit at home, it is now. It is now. Now that the United States is on Nigeria, now that the United States has moved to go on the fact-finding as we are speaking, the United States lawmakers are already in Nigeria, watching things and how things unfold. So if there is any time you need to pay attention and do something, it is now. There is no more time to play around, no more time to joke around. If there is any time that we are supposed to engage in sit at home, it is now. So wherever you are, I urge you in the name of Chukwu, even if you have not been joining before, this is the time to join. More especially since this their unlawful detention of Mazen Nnamdi, unlawful conviction of Mazen Nnamdi, the Supreme Court of IPOB was unlawfully convicted without any written law. And Mazen Nnamdi was denied his last submission. And the judge went ahead to unlawfully convict Mazen Nnamdi and pronounce a sentence. As if that is not enough, they took Mazen Nnamdi and handed him over to our arch enemy, the arch enemy of the Biafran people, the Fulani Janjaweeds, the Caliphate. We know the work of the Caliphate in Nigeria. We know the work of the Caliphate in amalgamation. We know that it is this same Caliphate that brought terrorism in Nigeria. They were the very first terrorists that appeared in Nigeria through Othman Danfodio. Othman Danfodio was the first terrorist that appeared in Nigeria, terrorized the northern part of Nigeria, the Hausas more especially, took over their land, took over their posts, and made Hausas irrelevant today. After occupying Hausa land, they are moving downwards. In all the Middle Belt, they are chasing the Middle Belters here and there, trying to take them over. They have not succeeded and they are not relenting. The same thing in Yoruba land. They have taken some portions of the land of the Yorubas and they are still fighting on to take more lands. The only place they have not been able to have a foothold is in Biafra land. But today, the federal government of Nigeria is the one sponsoring the takeover of Biafra land, Igbo land to be precise. The federal government of Nigeria is sponsoring. That is why they went ahead to enforce, they went ahead to plant somebody who did not participate in the election. Because no sensible Igbo man will vote a convicted criminal. A convicted criminal that escaped death penalty. There's no way some Igbo people will vote for such person. And the federal government of Nigeria knew that. That is why they secured that criminal and now they brought him back to force him on the Imo people. And you can see the result of that in Imo State today. Different kinds of atrocities unfolding in Imo State, different kinds of false flag operations going on. The headquarters of the disintegration of Biafra land, the headquarters of confusion, of insecurity in Biafra land is Imo State. And the false flag office they have is in Imo State. The Tiger Base. Tiger Base is what they are using to disrupt and to distort. And even as we speak, they are still carrying out that operation because they have seen that the United States is in Nigeria. Today, the Nigerian government is still conducting an operation in Biafra land. They are conducting, even as we speak, they are conducting operation. You had the news of an attack in a church, and they said that the wife of the pastor was shot dead and homes destroyed. This attack that you saw is not ordinary. It is an intentional act to draw the attention of the world towards the Biafran people. The attack you saw is intentional. They did it intentional. That very attack. Many of you must have seen it in the news. The attack that happened in Anambra State, where the wife of a pastor was murdered, and the church were burned, church property were destroyed. And the security came out and mentioned, they said, gunmen. They said gunmen. And this is how they have operated in Biafra land. When the DSS carry out the operation, they will come and tell you it is gunmen. They will never mention them. When the DSS, any operation that happens in Biafra land and they tell you gunmen, there is no other people that carry out operation except Nigerian government. And their intention is to target to the IPOB. They start with gunmen. Within a few days, they will come and tell you that it's a members of IPOB that went for the operation. They have been doing that. Sometimes they will not even wait. They will just come and tell you some members of IPOB. And to the same gunmen, before you know it, even now they have started writing Igbo gunmen. They are writing Igbo gunmen. The Yoruba media have started using Igbo gunmen. They are now including Igbos in this because they want the United States to see that even in Biafra land, that churches have been attacked. But that is a lie. A lie from the pit of hell. But that is the reason you are seeing this attack you saw in Anambra State yesterday or today. Yesterday. The attack you saw in Anambra State yesterday, attack in a church where the wife of a pastor was killed. And they said gunmen. They burned their cars, destroyed their properties. They know very well that the United States of America is in Nigeria for investigation. So they will create as many chaos as they want in the southeastern region to divert their attention over there. Nigeria is evil. Nigeria is evil. I have been shouting about this false flag. One of the greatest weapons is false flag. And I know that the United States is not blind to that. United States is not blind to that. false flag of Nigerian government against the Biafrans. They did it in the course of this sit at home. They have done it, and many lives, they took many lives, destroyed many properties. But Biafrans continued. In every time, they try as much as possible to demonize us, to make what we are doing look violent. Sit at home is not violent, has never been violent, has never. Nobody has been forced. No enforcement has been done. Master Simon Ekpa, while he was with God, always say it repeatedly again and again. Nobody is enforcing sit at home. But instead, the Nigerian government authorities have been captured on video. Their police enforcing sit at home. Our beloved sister, a journalist in the Igbo land, Lolo Nneka Chimezie, has also done investigation and came out with a report that the insecurity in Biafra land today is caused by the federal government of Nigeria. Now that the United States is making their fact finding, they are going to create chaos using their agents. More especially the Tiger Base. Tiger Base has a serious work now. You see what they're using their media to do, to paint the Tiger Base as genuine. They are using their media to portray Tiger Base because they know that people are revealing the evil that is happening in that Tiger Base. The organ harvesting, the illegal detention, the murder, the genocide that they are conducting on daily basis. These things are happening. But today, you see them going to conduct a search. They say they found a mortuary where organ harvesters are dumping body. And they didn't catch anybody there. Information was given to them, and before they come, the owner of the place is the wrong. He escaped. This is the kind of story you hear. It is not the first time. It's not the second time. And you know the last time. Without investigation, they came to do their normal social media drama. Social media drama. Their intention, what they intend to achieve in that very publication, the only thing they intend to achieve is to demonize Biafran land. To demonize the Biafran people. That is the only intention. That media drama you see is just to demonize the Biafran people. And to remove their false flag office from it. Remove their Tiger Base dungeon from the case. To deviate the attention of people. But I bet you, as long as Chukwu Okeke lives, we will not stop talking. Wherever they go, we will chase them. Wherever we go, we will bust them. Any place they go to. If you are a genuine Biafran, any place you are, don't be disappointed. Don't be discouraged. Don't allow anybody to push you from side to side. Don't allow anybody to continue to push you to issues that you are not interested in. That is not part of it. We must not agree. These are lies. They lie from a bit of hell. We must not agree it. So, my fellow Biafrans, you must be strong. You must be strong wherever you are. You must be strong because we must win this battle. The battle is not easy. It is a heavy one, but we fight until we win it. So I want us to, first of all, let us go into some of these updates that we have in Sahara Reporters. This one says, 4 people killed as gunmen attack Anambra market. 4 people killed as gunmen attack Anambra market. This is 5 hours ago. 5 hours ago. I said that you are going to see more chaos in Biafra land. Now that the United States are on the ground, making their fact-finding, you are going to see more chaos in Biafra land. Caused and conducted by the DSS, by the Tiger Base. You are going to see them doing different kinds of havoc, causing havoc, in order to divert the attention of the United States to the Biafra land. You are going to see more attack. Look at it. 4 people killed as gunmen attack Anambra market. They will never mention the name. They will never tell you those who did it. What you're going to be hearing is gunmen, unknown gunmen. And already they are using their social media. I have seen them using the word like Igbo gunmen. And before you know it, they will push it further and they will say IPOB, just to demonize our side, just to divert attention and let people know that the genocide is not only conducted by certain people, it's conducted by certain people, that it is not about Fulanis. That is what they intend to do. But I know that Chukwu Okikabiama will disappoint them. Chukwu Okikabiama will disappoint them. After investigation, you will see that these people, these are DSS. These are DSS members conducting their false flag. And we have seen it over and over again. Khan says no official word or report or reported release of 100 abducted Niger pupils. Khan says no official word on unreported release of 100 abducted Niger pupils. Out of 300, only 100 was released. Out of 300 children, 100. Go and check the name of those 100. You might find out that these people, those ones are not Christians. And those they found the Christian name, or mostly those who are from the south, will contribute to be held. They will hold them and they will never leave them. U.S. Embassy confirmed normalcy in Cotonou after failed coup attempt. These are the updates that's coming. Court adjourned hearing on Mazen Nnamdi Kanu request for transfer from Sokoto. You know, today, the case of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, the hearing of transfer of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was put forward today in appeal court. You know, they took Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to Sokoto, and Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, it is becoming difficult for him to file his appeal from Sokoto there. So the legal team, through his brother, went and sent an appeal for them to transfer Mazen Nnamdi Kanu back to Abuja so that he can be able to pursue his appeal. But instead of them listening to that very case, they adjourned it. They adjourned it. They did not. They adjourned it up to next year. They adjourned it to, I think, 27th of January. They adjourned the case of Mazen Nnamdi 27th of January, I think so. That is when they adjourned the case of Mazen Nnamdi. And it is not telling good. These people want to deny Mazen Nnamdi every of his rights. They want to make sure that Mazen Nnamdi did not have the chance to appeal this injustice meted against him. They are holding Mazen Nnamdi down. But we will not stop talking, and they will never succeed. Adjourn hearing on Nnamdi Kanu's request for transfer from Sokoto. They adjourn it. You can imagine. And let us read the content and see what they said. James Omotosho of the Federal High Court in Abuja has adjourned the hearing of the application filed by the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, seeking his transfer from the Sokoto to a custodial facility closer to the Federal Capital Territory. The court fixed January 27, 2026 as the new date to hear the motion. You can imagine. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has only 90 days to go in for this appeal. And already they are wasting that 90 days. By January, about 60 days must have gone. By January 27, it will just remain only few days. By this January 27, it will remain only few days for that 90 days to expire. By January, it will remain few days or weeks for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu appeal to expire. And tell me, how will he be able to put for that appeal? How will he be able to file different documents and what he needs to do? And this is just a hearing. You see, when these people are devilish, the same on Motosho, the same on Motosho. What stops him from conducting that hearing immediately and allow this man to appeal? Instead of hearing it, he fixed it on the 27th of January. 27th of January. You can imagine. By this 27th of January, it will remain only few days for the 90 days to expire for the appeal. This is all they are doing to make sure that Mazen Nnamdi does not succeed in appealing. They are doing everything they can to stop the appeal of Mazen Nnamdi. They are doing everything they can to make sure that Mazen Nnamdi does not have access to enter his appeal. They want to force this very conviction of Mazen Nnamdi by all means. This is really, really bad. This is really bad. The court fixed 2026 as the new date to hear the motion. January. Kanu, who filed the request through the Legal Aid Council, is asking to be moved to Sokoto Custodial Center to either the Kuje Custodial Center in Abuja or the Kefi Custodial Center in Nasarawa State. According to his legal team, the relocation is necessary to enable him to effectively pursue his appeal and consult with his lawyers. In an alternative plea, Kanu requested to be transferred to any custodial facility within the court's jurisdiction, including Suleja in Niger State, citing the difficulty of managing his defense from Sokoto. And they know very well that Sokoto will be a problem to Mazen Nnamdi. They know. They know. That is why they took him there, to make sure they stall the appeal, to make sure he's not able to appeal. However, Kanu Special Counsel Barrister Aloy Ejimako said that when the matter came up on Monday, Justice Omotosho directed that the Correctional Service prosecution be put on notice. To all the faithful that have contacted me about Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's prison transfer hearing held today, here is the fact. Ejimaka wrote in a post on his X, formerly Twitter, to the account after the court section. This is what Aloy Ejimaka wrote on his account. He said, the hearing was postponed to 27th January 2026 as the judge directed that the Correctional Service prosecution to be put on notice. You can imagine. 27th January. In November, Kanu was sentenced to life imprisonment on terrorism charges for declaring a sit-at-home order in the southeast, which the court ruled was enforced through threat and violence, which is a lie, which is a very big lie. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu never enforced any sit-at-home by violence. He never enforced it. It was something that the people agreed and carried on. But look at it. That was what they used to sentence Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. The court also gave him concurrent sentence of 20 years and 5 years on other counts. The court cited international concern over capital punishment in deciding against the death penalty. So they were about to give Mazen Nnamdi Kanu death penalty. President Bola Tinubu's government later transferred Kanu from the Department of State Service DSS facility in Abuja to a correctional center in Sokoto State. Kanu trial attracted national and international attention, with critics alleging political interference. However, Kanu and his team has repeatedly objected to his continued detention in the Sokoto facility, arguing that the long distance hampers his ability to effectively pursue an appeal against the judgment. The court linked Kanu's sit-at-home order to the killing of former presidential aide Ahmed Gulak. Imagine Gulag, who was killed on a Sunday. Meanwhile, the sit-at-home was on a Monday. Has nothing to do with the Biafran people. Has nothing to do with the agitation, which even Hope Uzodinma confirmed by himself. But they still went ahead to use it on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and accuse him of inciting violence through broadcasts. Justice Omotosho described Kanu as arrogant, cocky, and full of himself, adding that his rhetoric posed a serious threat to the public safety. Imagine. That is where he displays his hatred, his personal hatred to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that made him to pronounce those judgments against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So, you have seen. So Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will have to wait until 27th of next month for the hearing. And at that 27, only a few days is remaining for the appeal. So let's see what is going to happen. Kidnapping started in southern Nigeria. It didn't start in the northern, say governor. See, idiot. These people are very shameless. Terrorism started from the northern part of Nigeria. Right from the origin, Ottoman Danfodio was the first terrorist that came into Nigeria. Terrorism started from northern Nigeria. From Ottoman Danfodio that they refer to their father today. He was the first terrorist that was brought into that Nigeria. And it was a mistake for those who call themselves founding father to even join him and begin to do what they did. This qualification of Omosoro's 6 other governors aspirants part controversy in Dosun. This is rubbish. Rubbish. Look at this one. Pregnant woman, school children at risk as Imo Federal Road Project stalls despite 273 million release report. That is Imo State. Bad news. This is where they went and did a summit that cannot hold anywhere. Organ harvesting state of Uzodinma. That is it. That's it. KB allocates 10 billion for 1,300 HAJJ seats exceed West. Let's forget these idiots. These idiots. Bad news everywhere in Nigeria. You can never see any news that is uplifting. How Ebonyi state government violated procurement law in multi-billion road contract. It is not today now. We know them. Fresh plot to assassinate what? Nnamdi Eme in Anambra prison. US Nigerian Joint Task Force is great step to ending insecurity. Congressman Rally Moore. Don't deceive yourself. Do not deceive yourself. Whatever you are doing in Nigeria, don't get carried away. You're coming to Nigeria, make your fact finding that you are called for. Be focused. Don't get distracted with this idiocy, because a lot of nonsense is going to happen. You better not pay attention. US Nigerian Joint Task Force is great step to end insecurity. Congressman Rally Moore. We shall see how that your joint tax force is going to work. Churubu's military intervention in Benin Republic is impeachable offense, says lawyer Masha Abubakar. Only talk now. Can you impeach Churubu? Who are you to impeach him? The strongest president in the world. You cannot impeach him. Amnesty International condemned gunmen attack on Anambra Church, killing of cleric's wife, others. This is those false flags we're talking about. They are doing these things intentionally because of the US president in Nigeria. That is why you are hearing of all this attack. This attack is coming, and it is being conducted and planned by the federal government. The people that they use for this operation is people like this Tiger Base. These are the kind of job the Tiger Base is doing. Any operation you hear gunmen, these are false flag operation by the federal government or state government. They are the one conducting it. So when you read this, Amnesty International condemned gunmen attack on Anambra Church, killing of cleric wife, others. The only people that can do this is the state government or the federal government. They plan it, they conduct it, they carry it out. This is the job that Tiger Base is doing in Imo State. That is their job in Imo State, Tiger Base. Fraudsters arrested for ID theft over victim 10 million to sell her, offer victim 10 million to sell her BVN in Osu. Police handling question. That's what you see. Uluwale people, we know them. Shock as Nigerian soldier escorting brigade commander in Yola shot dead 7 protesters, women. Ha! Imagine. This is the kind of thing you see in Nigeria. This is the kind of news you see in Nigeria. Shock as Nigerian soldier escorting brigadier commander in Yola shot dead 7 protesting women. Women that are protesting. Women that are protesting. A soldier shot them down. 7 of them took their life. A soldier that was escorting the brigade commander shot down 7 protesting women. Only in Nigeria. They take life anyhow. They don't care. And nothing will be done to him. Nothing. Absolutely nothing will do. We don't. Look at it. Score of people still remain in captivity despite bandit freeing 100 Nigerian Catholic school pupils. Of course. 200 is still remaining. 200 and people that are not mentioned, they are still remaining there. It is not finished. Court declare police wanted notice on Lagos lawyer illegal. Order retraction apology. That is all we have for today from their news. And we are going to go to some of their stations to also bring up the news they have in their stations, and we'll listen to the way they put their news. You know, these devilish people, that they will always push their lies. They will always push their lies. Police command confirm arrest of kingpin after DSS nabbed doctor treating bandits. Doctor treating bandit. Okay, you're not the doctor, but what of the sponsors? You will never get at the sponsors. You will never get at the sponsors. Intelligence report exposes kidnapping bandits syndicate. Oh. Intelligence report exposing kidnapping bandit syndicates across northern Nigeria. That is their home. That is their headquarters, northern Nigeria. That is their base. That is the base of every insecurity you can think about. But they will not face it. They will bring their mouth and begin to talk about the southern part of Nigeria. Bunch of clueless people. Let us go to their media and see the information they have on their studio, and we'll bring it and dissect it. Let us go to their media. Let's see what they have in their media houses. Let's see the news they have in their media house. Let's bring it up so that we can be able to also get through that. We will continue to follow them. We will continue to look at issues that matters. We will continue to dissect matters. Let us hear what they are saying in their studio from this very angle. Let's listen to them and hear what they have to say. Let's hear what they got to say.
As National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu has held talks in Abuja with a visiting United States congressional delegation. He wrote on his X handle on Sunday that the group was in the country on a fact-finding mission following earlier discussions in Washington on shared security priorities. The delegation included U.S. Representatives Mario Diaz-Balart, Norma Torres, Scott Franklin, Juan Siscomani, and Riley M. Moore. The U.S. Ambassador to Nigeria, Richard Mills, also attended. A presence, Ribadu said, reflects the importance between countries attached to the engagement. According to the NSA, discussions centered on counter-terrorism cooperation, regional stability, and strengthening the Nigeria-US strategic security partnership. He added that he is optimistic the engagement would help deepen trust and collaboration and shared commitment to peace and security. Also, a high-level delegation from the United States on Saturday held separate meetings with Benue State Governor Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia and key religious and traditional leaders in Makurdi. The delegation, which included of the U.S. Congress, the U.S. Assistant Secretary of State, and the U.S. Ambassador to Nigeria, first visited the government house where they met with the governor. They later proceeded to the Bishop's house in Makurdi for a closed-door session with the bishops of the Catholic Diocese of Makurdi and the Catholic Diocese of Katsina, alongside the Tortiv, His Royal Majesty James Ayatse. Although the visiting officials did not address journalists at the meetings, Governor Alia, in his statement on his verified Facebook page, confirmed that discussions focused on security and humanitarian challenges affecting Benue State and the wider North Central region. Well, moving on to other stories, we have this from John Vance Group, who hosted it.
So you can see that the United States is not joking. The United States is on top of the game, and they are doing everything they can to make sure that Nigeria is being held accountable. So we will continue to follow up and see. All we pray is that they should not get distracted. The United States, they are already on the ground. They are investigating. This is not a Democrat. Trump is not somebody who can come and give fake news. Some are in Abuja, some are in Benue State, meeting the real people. And I bet you it is not going to end well. It is not going to end well. Let us continue to follow up and see what the outcome is going to be. We know it's not going to end well. It's not going to end well. No matter how they try to hide it, no matter how they try to hide, they will never succeed.
Your trend of coups, not just in the West African region, but in some parts of Africa as well. But also, very importantly, the NSA receiving a delegation from the United States on a fact-finding mission to Nigeria. We've been talking about this issue since that infamous post by President Donald Trump and the threat of coming guns ablazing to Nigeria if things are not fixed. Your take on this, service?
Okay, real quickly. I totally condemn every coup. And kudos to the Nigerian forces that went out there to quell the coup. It's not today that Nigeria has been protecting the democracy of West Africa and Africa in general. And kudos to our soldiers. But the bone of contention that Dr. Bali picked out is, did they do it legally? Because there's a proviso in Section 5 of the Constitution that talked about the president notifying the Senate. Was the Senate notified? And that's why people are not drawing comparison with the case of Niger. Because in the case of Niger, we all saw the leak that happened, that Nigeria was already preparing a strike. And then the matter came to the Senate, and the Senate advised against this. But what we saw here is that all of a sudden President Tinubu, after the fact, just announced that Nigerian troops had been there, and they had quelled the coup and uprising, which we support. But the way it was done. So the question is, will President Tinubu now come back to tell the Senate? Because there's also a proviso when you read through Section 5 of the Constitution that talked about that, okay, that the president can do it, and I'm sure that's where the government will hide on that. That the president can do it if it's a limited operation, if it's impinges on national security. I don't think they'll be able to prove that, but maybe they will prove that, oh, because it's so close to home, it impinges on national security. And in the next 7 days, maybe now they will now formally make an appeal to the Senate. But the most important question is, and a lot of people are asking this, why did it go through the Senate for the case of Niger? Is it because of cultural ties? Why is that the Senate questioned the case of Niger? Because prior to even the strikes in Niger, there were cases of protests in the north. So we should also look at that. But let's go back to it. In as much as I condemn coup, is Talon a saint? No. And you see, the reason for the coups in these African countries, and why an average watcher of television today might support those coups, despite the fact that I condemn the idea, and why I condemn the idea of a coup is that once you start, you don't know where to stop. Everybody that has force now can take power. Even Yahoo boys and criminals can take power. But the question is, are the African leaders not even behaving like Yahoo boys in the first place? Look at Talon. It was just on Saturday. Talon passed, and the National Assembly was probably rubber stamp, passed a law to extend the presidential term to 7 years. Anyway, Talon will not be a beneficiary. But the most important part we should look at about that law is the 25-30-man Senate seats that pretty much second-guesses what the lower house does. There are indications that Talon might want to put himself there to be able to check this is anointed candidate minister. And Talon has been very high-handed, like Ouattara. You see, when I even look at the hypocrisy of ECOWAS and they say the volunteer force, and I'm seeing Côte d'Ivoire in there, Côte d'Ivoire with Alassane Ouattara, that has violated democratic tenets, that has committed this act of statitism in power, that because most of his preferred successors died, like Habib Bakayoko and the likes, he decided to stay on the power. He stayed there for like 16 years. Is it countries like Togo? Togo did the same with the constitution. They've made the role of the president ceremonial. They have a council of ministers that the president leads that has real power. So all of the African leaders have made it very easy for the coups to happen. So in as much as we are saying we condemn coups, we should also check these Yahoo boys we call leaders. Because across the African continent, there are a bunch of Yahoo boys that always think of themselves and not the interest of the people. Secondly, as regards the, what's it called?
NSA. Fact-finding mission.
That's very good. But Americans already know the facts of what's happening.
Yes.
There's been mass killings. I'm happy that Americans are on ground. We knew there was a fact-finding mission that was supported by someone that's been nominated as ambassador today. We know how that ended.
Exactly.
But the truth has to be said. Where is the government going to show us those that are complicit in all of this? If the government cannot show us, then there's a level of complicity going on. Yesterday, they released 100 people. You release people from Niger. There are no killing of bandits. They are not bringing the bandits to book. The playbook is way too obvious now. That's what some people are saying. Isn't it looking like Colabo? They kidnap people. Till today, the government has not been able to tell us. Those that ordered the troops to leave the secondary school in Kebbi.
So that investigation.
Investigation, my foot.
Thank you.
My investigation done.
Investigation,
my foot. So they don't know who gave an order that troops should leave.
Who is supposed to give
that?
that?
After, people came in there and picked up our girls. Now, about 100 of them came back. The NSA was even giving us updates that they are in good condition and everything. So why can't the NSA root out those criminal elements that took away the 100 who did not release now? This thing is looking like Olapo. And it's that level of sincerity. So we are having all of this, and because the government is not standing tall.
I thought I had the producer say I have 5 minutes, but I will try to, in cases, you know.
Is it trying to increase?
Yeah, I may increase it, but it's as follows. Now, chapter 8 of the UN Charter, talks about preventing,
Madman, talk your own. Idiot. You're always on the negative side.
Regional groups coming together. Article 21 of the ECOWAS protocol retains that principle. Article 25 of the ECOWAS protocol further explains that. So if you look at it on the surface of it, my gut feeling as an ordinary man would be to say, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has acted reasonably. He has tried to respond very quickly. It was an emergency that was happening by the border, next door to Nigeria. President Yayi Boni, who was the predecessor of Patrice Talon, used to refer to Republic of Benin as the 37th state of Nigeria. So, the president could say, Sunday morning, this has happened. Maybe there is some collateral damage that Nigeria may suffer. Let's quickly move in. But it was not just about impulsive reaction. We were told that the Republic of Benin made 2 requests. 1, that Nigeria should help secure the airspace. 2, that Nigeria should even send in ground troops to secure constitutional institutions in the Republic of Benin. So President Tinubu may have acted along this regard. Now ECOWAS says, we have deployed a standby force. That standby force, does this exist in reality? That standby force is not something you can call up in an emergency. Because to the best of my knowledge, I may be wrong, it's only Nigeria that went in there. And Nigeria is acting on the basis of the brotherly request by the Republic of Benin, which is just next door. While as an ordinary man, I think that that's nice for Nigeria to show that, yeah, we're the biggest country in West Africa. We will not allow any nonsense.
Nonsense.
There is
You people are nonsense already.
Now,
You not
some
allow
people may say it's
nonsense.
political, it's about survival, it's not legalist. But the Constitution of Nigeria is the basic law in Section 5. The president of Nigeria, if he sees that Nigeria is facing imminent attack, he is given powers to deploy troops. But subsections 4 and subsection 5 of that section 5 says he shall get the approval, the ratification of the National Assembly. Did the president seek the approval of the National Assembly, even if it was a weekend, Sunday morning emergency? Now, if you go to section 305 of the same constitution, under which the president of Nigeria as commander-in-chief can declare a state of emergency, sub 2, sub 3 will seem to explain that, look, the president also needs the concurrence of the National Defense Council and then that of the National Assembly. However, if he does not, if he acts without getting the approval of the National Assembly, the Constitution of Nigeria says within 14 days limit, he has to get the concurrence of the National Assembly, who will ratify that action. Now, a community reading of Section 5 and Section 305, sub 2, 3, will seem to tell us that the Constitution of Nigeria does not allow a situation where the President of Nigeria, even as Commander-in-Chief, can act unilaterally. And the whole idea is to prevent a dictatorship. Our Constitution is modeled after, American democracy Constitution. So, President Tinubu having done this, they may say, well, he consulted with the leadership of the National Assembly, he called people, he didn't act unilaterally, he needed to protect Nigeria and all of that, or respond to a brotherly request. He will have to, before 12 noon today, transmit a letter to the National Assembly to say that this is the action I have taken. I need the ratification of the National Assembly. That's what our law says. Then you may say this is not legalistic and all that, but we have to respect our Constitution. And then the National Assembly can be persuaded to say, well, okay, Nigerian troops are in the Republic of Benin for this reason, for that reason, and it was an emergency. The president needed to act to prevent collateral.
Prepare for the U.S. reacting very soon.
I salute the Nigerian soldiers, the Air Force.
Prepare for the U.S. action very soon.
Went in there clearly for one reason. It was a demonstration effect to send a signal to anybody, any ambitious person in Nigeria who may want to imitate what is happening, what has happened in Mali, Madagascar, Burkina Faso, Guinea-Bissau, Niger, Chad, that the Nigerian military has the capacity to quell any kind of violation of the Constitution.
Look at him.
However, President Patrice Talon has
Nonsense.
spoken. But President Patrice Talon, I didn't hear him paying special attention to Nigeria. I thought if we deployed our troops, we incurred costs. Patrice Talon should have, at least as a brother, say, Nigeria helped, or ECOWAS said, they sent loyal forces. Who are those loyal forces? We are a sovereign country, and President Tinubu will have shown brotherhood and solidarity. We deserve to be commended for that. Finally, the situation in Ondo State. We just had the Imo Economic Summit. And one of the things we said is that these states have to provide an enabling environment for business to thrive, for entrepreneurs to thrive. And we have seen in the example of John Vance, right, and Ondo State, that the state government is committed to promoting entrepreneurship.
Forget this nonsense these people are saying. When the time comes, when other people are going to react, prepare yourself. You have soldiers who can fight, right? and terrorists is taking over Nigeria, you are doing nothing. You sit in the studio and you talk rubbish. The United States is going to do their job very, very soon. Very soon. It's not going to take time. It's not going to take time. So prepare yourself for that. Let's go to the next one and hear what information these ones have. Let's go to the next one.
That Igbo Nile Great People Assembly has held its Lagos end of the year celebration, bringing together community leaders who honor distinguished members and address key issues affecting Igbo residents in the state. The event also sparked broader conversations about human issues, justice, and rising ethnic tensions. Our correspondent has more in this report.
Used the event to address it was a vibrant cultural gathering in Lagos as the Igbo Great People's Assembly held its annual end-of-year celebration. The event brought together Igbo and Yoruba traditional rulers, market heads, and social cultural representatives to promote unity and reflect on the year's event. Two prominent community figures, the Eze Igbo of Agoro and the Eze Igbo of Mushi, were honored for their support to Igbo residents across Lagos. The organization also used the event to address numerous issues affecting Igbo community. The national president strongly criticized the justice system over sentencing of IPOB leader nnamdi Kanu.
When the justice system has collapsed, when it has failed, the nation has gone down completely. I don't know where to start because we have corrupt judges everywhere.
The National Secretary Elder Masi also lent his voice.
This war that is against Igbos, I will call it war because it has gotten from crisis stage, conflict stage, now it is war. Igbos are no pushovers all over the world. And there's nowhere, any country you go to, you don't find an Igbo man, that country does not exist. So we must not be stifled for anything. So the Igbos should rise, be themselves, but let them not fight. Let them not be in conflict with any other tribe.
He also called for global unity among Igbos, saying the assembly stands ready to defend any Igbo person facing injustice. Another speaker, engineer Dr. Victor Ezeoke Ezendigbo of Agora, Ikorodu, said the gathering serves not just as a celebration, but as a time to reconnect with culture and chart the way forward. Reflecting on recent tension between Igbos and Yoruba communities, he said Nigerians must see their differences, the way couples navigate cultural backgrounds in marriage, something that improves with time, education, and tolerance.
Igbos don't understand Yoruba too fully. Yoruba don't even understand Igbo at all. So it becomes very, very difficult to have them in a very, very peaceful marriage and cohabit easily in Lagos. But I believe it's just the beginning. It's getting better. If you look at it from the start, it's getting better. I mean, people are being more educated. People are being more tolerant. People are being more understanding. Forget what is happening. It's just politics. Politics will come, politics will go.
He expressed optimism that political decisions
continue deceiving yourself. Don't go back home. Stay in Lagos and continue to deceive yourself.
He urged Igbos to remain steadfast, obey the law, and continue excelling in commerce, education, engineering, and innovation.
About Mazi Kanu's situation, I would say it's highly political and it's been looked into. I'm very, very sure we have a good listening leaders. I'm very sure when they go in and sleep, when they wake up, they will reconsider. And he'll be very free. I'm very sure I have that conviction within me. Within this period, it should be out. I'm very, very sure about that.
Concerns over demolition in Lagos also resurfaced. Community leader Dr. John criticized what he called discriminatory treatment of Igbo property.
I'm telling the Yorubas, I'm using this opportunity to tell them to handle this very issue as per say we are one Nigeria. The way they're treating Igbos, that was what brings up this agitation. And there's somebody that is agitating, you cannot tell him stop agitation. Because if you want to tell him to stop agitation, then look at the reason why he is agitating. Then solve the problem so that we will live like brothers.
On his part, Yoruba leader Mustafa Olaraju emphasized proper enforcement of building permits, warning that sudden demolitions threaten investment and deepen ethnic anxiety.
Appeal to the government to do the right thing in order for them to check very well before they give them the permit to build their houses
Not that after they are finished building their houses, that's when they are going to come back and start demolition. Many investors will be afraid to come to Lagos and invest their money when it comes to real estate.
While the event marked the end of year celebration and cultural pride, it's also provided a platform for frank discussion on justice, ethnic harmony, demolitions, and the future of Nigerian unity. Leaders from both communities say dialogue, tolerance, and fair remain essential to sustaining peace in Lagos and across the country. From Agam Palace in Lagos, I am Onika Golo, reporting for VOP TV.
You have heard it. These are informations around the media. But for those who are in Lagos, always remember there is a home. The only way you can save yourself from what is happening in Lagos today is to take your investment back home. Take your investment back home. It doesn't matter any peace summit, agreement, or whatever you are doing, celebration. Take your major investment back home. You can keep your branch anywhere you like, but your major investment, your headquarters, your head office, put them in Biafra land. They are going to come for you. In this time that we are in, you can do your business anywhere. You can do your business even in the village. We're in a smart world. In this smart world, you can stay one place and trade and buy and do everything you want to do. You can sit one place and do all you need to do. So I urge every one of you that is still struggling to fix themselves somewhere in Lagos, go back home. Invest in your home. That is the only way for us. We will continue to demand for the unconditional release of nnamdi Kanu. We will not stop. We will continue to observe the seat at home. We will not stop until we are free. I appreciate everyone that have joined us on this very midnight program. Thank you so much for joining us on this program. I appreciate every one of you. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect everyone that have participated in this very program. Thank you so much. I'm going to see you again tomorrow morning. We're going to come back and continue our program tomorrow morning. Join us tomorrow morning for another explosive section tomorrow. It is going to be explosive. Join us tomorrow morning as we continue. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect you. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, guide and protect our Prime Minister Mazi Samara. May Chukwu Okike Abiama be our guide and protector. Secure our leaders, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Samara, and give them wisdom, knowledge, understanding, strength, good health. Secure them, build walls around them that no evil shall befall them. Thank you so much for being part of this program. See you tomorrow morning on another exclusive episode. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Nigeria don't enter one chance, I swear, now go with the go so. Yes, men, they kill us every day for them busy, they campaign again. After they failed all the promises they made, oh, then they praise themselves. Why the masses were supposed to give them the praises we they are they run to? Move it up. I blame it on the religious leaders. I blame it on the traditional rulers. People were supposed to fight for the people, they don't compromise. Shame on the rebellious brothers. People will cry with us during answers. Today them don't join those oppressors, they eat love. Something on the smell of. Very soon now we go perceive. We have up where this government they cause na time bomb. It go soon explode. Revolution they come. It's very close and they feel when the power of the people we triumph, the power of the people in power. They no even care, they no even send. Say the people they die of hunger. Hungry dog is an angry dog. One day you go bite the owner. Idle man is the devil workshop. Many youths for Nigeria no good job. And the country the youths got no future. The country is gone, that's on period. Move it up. I blame it on the judiciary leaders. I blame it on the electoral officials. People were supposed to save the nation, but they collected bribe. Shame on the armed forces. People were supposed to protect the masses. One of them they shoot us anytime they hear our voice.